Hey, I'm Dale. Welcome back to the JeepSolid Garage. We're going to make some more progress on my cj5 today. We've got a lot of bits and pieces to put on. Let me show you what we're working with. In the last episode, we put the head on. The engine rebuild is starting to look really nice. And if you're new to the channel, this is my 1958 cj5. I call it welding because I'm going to be doing a lot of welding on it. So if you want to follow along on this adventure, be sure to like and subscribe. Today, we're putting the oil filter and tubing on, some brackets for that. We got the alternator and the belt to go on, the valve cover that goes on the side of the engine, a little different setup on the F head there, and a breather tube, bits and pieces to go with that. Let's start with the side valve cover. It's all clean, but I need to make sure that I don't have any oil on the gasket surface here, so I'm going to take a little bit of brake cleaner on a rag, wipe that off. And we just have a cork gasket to go on the side here, so it's not as important to have this spick and span as if you were using RTV, but still, I just want to make sure there's no debris on here, no oils. There we go, got myself a little seat, a little more comfortable. And my cork gasket here is actually not super floppy. They do say you can put some adhesive on there just to make sure that your gasket stays in place, but this one, I have no trouble just setting it in place like that. And yeah, looks good to me. Let's get some bolts in here. And now this front one actually has some breather tubes on it. It has a little gasket that goes behind this breather cover right here. So we gotta make sure we got that little gasket in place. And we'll hold it all in place and get our bolt started. And on the side valve cover here, this breather tube here, this is just open, but the other side comes around up here and goes into the head right below where the carburetor is going to go. So I'm not tightening that front side yet. I want to get this in place. I want to have a little bit of play here so that I can get this in there without cross-threading it, which I think I'm doing right now. So let me set the camera down. Sometimes things take two hands, and this is one of those cases. I decided to take this completely off because it's going into a copper fitting, like I said here, and it's just, yeah, I was so afraid I was getting a cross-threader, which I kind of was. It just needed to be started on its own first. That's much better. Now, if I can get it down below the water pump, I can tighten the front side now. That's so much better. If there is one thing I've learned doing automotive repair is, especially when you're working with brass or aluminum, don't force it. Like if it's not going well, slow down, reassess, realign, and make sure it's just going in nicely. There are some times where you gotta kind of force things. You can be a little more, a little rougher with, of course, steel. But that copper fitting, I'm so glad I took this front side back off because it just wasn't sliding in nice, but a little adjustment and then went in perfectly smooth. Now I can't get this side in. But I'm not as concerned with this side. This fitting is into steel, hardened steel, so. Gotta have the gasket in place. There it is. There we go. And how did I learn to be careful with copper and aluminum? Well, it's many years of trial and error. And as you can see here, there's a fitting right there that I was trying to take off to clean up the block. It's all mangled. Gonna have to order a new one. So years of doing that kind of stuff, and I don't know, I guess it's learning by mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. I've made a million of them. And I just chalk it up to like, oh, I learned something there. Okay, next up is the alternator. And I took a bunch of pictures actually of the engine before I dismantled everything because I always have to look back at how things go together to make sure so I don't get things on backwards. Been known to do that too. From what I can determine best, this bracket went on the front side of the block here. And it's just little tiny differences like that. I mean, this will make a half a centimeter difference on if this little bracket is on the front side versus the back side, but you know, that'll throw your belt alignment off and all that. So I really try to pay attention, get things back exactly how they're supposed to go. That's why you guys have seen me label stuff. I mean, if anything, I over label, but I've actually never over labeled. I've never been disappointed like, oh, you labeled too many things. Never happened. This is the top. Yep, this is the bottom. All right, let's place this down there and the bottom bolt. There we go. Why does this seem so much tighter? Oh, there we go. Because it is tighter. Okay, I think this goes through here. Yeah, that guy goes in there. Stay. These guys, all these spacers go on the back side because it's all about the alignment of the belt, right? And then alternator comes in like this. Just get that tightened down a little bit. And we'll get the bottom bolt on here. And that is way off. I have this thing backwards? What is going on? Oh, I gotta refer back to my picture. Let me show you guys this. I'm way off. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that ain't lining up with the belt. It needs to be way up there. And that's because I have it put on completely backwards. These spacers and everything go on the front side. That's the part where I drop everything again. Okay, we go bolt, and then spacers. Oh, I need 3 hands for this. Washer, spacer, washer. There we go, now we're getting somewhere. And then Mr. Alternator. There we go. Oh, it's falling apart on me. No, Merv. Stay together. I'm dealing with 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 parts all at the same time here. It just won't. There we go. Get in there. Whew. Struggle's real. Come on. One little bolt can give you so much trouble. There we go. Whew. Easy peasy. All right, this one on the back should be much easier. Well, that took a little more wrestling than I was expecting, but we got it done. Just gonna kind of snug these down a little bit. That one I'm gonna leave loose because I gotta adjust it anyways. That bottom one, are you 1/2 inch? No, you're smaller. No, you're 1/2 inch. And this guy here is bigger. But I don't even have everything tightened down yet. But look at this alignment now for my pulley. Perfect. Now this bracket here is 9/16. Get that tightened down because I think I got the alternator pretty much where I want it. Of course, when I get the belt on here, we'll adjust it, but let's just get this bracket secure. And we're getting close on this project. Well, we got a long ways to go, but we're, as far as, you know, when I was talking earlier, if I want to get this thing started, like we're getting the engine done here. That guy's tight. Let me tighten this guy a little bit. All right, bottom bolt's done. Top one is still loose. I'll loosen that bottom one when it comes time to adjust it for the belt. I'm gonna get a new belt on it. I'm gonna put together that order, get new spark plugs, fuel filter, fuel pump rebuild kit, oil filter. I'm gonna get a brand new wiring kit for it, so I'm gonna put that order in today, get that on the way. And here's the belt that's gonna end up going on it eventually, but yeah, like I said, I'm gonna get a brand new one. This one, yeah, on the back side here. See if we can zoom in on that a little bit. Yeah, we're just starting to kind of come apart a little bit. Might last for a little while, but may as well add that to my order. And when I talk about my labeling, here we go. We got oil pressure, so we're blurry. We got oil pressure, driver, engine, rear, bottom. What? Oil pressure sensor, driver's side, engine, rear, bottom. It goes right here. So I think I'm gonna put a little bit of Teflon tape on it though, just to make sure we don't get any oil leak there. But that, yeah, I've never been disappointed with over labeling. This is right next to that other brass fitting that I gotta order a new one. But then this also helps me just figure out what everything is. You know, that this is the oil pressure sensor. And we'll just tighten this guy down a little bit. Next up is this oil filter housing, which I think this went on first. I'm gonna have to look back at my pictures for sure to see how this was mounted exactly. But yeah, I believe that's the top one, and this is the bottom one. And it goes on the passenger side. So yeah, let me look back at the pictures and I'll meet you on the other side. And this is the beauty of, you know, taking pictures of things as you're working on it, because then I can look back and be like, oh yeah, okay, that bracket went like that. So it just gives me a good idea how to put everything back together. And of course, then I finally realized that this bracket for the oil filter housing goes under these two head bolts. So I had to pull those head bolts, retorque everything, put a new thread locker back on these guys. It's all set. I should have labeled this better. Probably should put a label on the head bolts saying, hey, put this bracket in place before you place those head bolts, but yeah, another case of live and learn. Got that in place. Now this other little orange strap goes on the top here. And then I can just slide that oil filter housing in place, I believe. Let's get this guy tightened down a little bit. Now I remember tightening these straps being a pain, so before I snug things down too much, I'm gonna drop the filter housing in place and just make sure everything works how I think it's gonna work, so I don't have to go undoing things to redo it to make it fit. Now this filter housing, it's a little odd. There's this extra hose down here. I think this is a modification that the previous owner did, but I guess I'll have to look at like a oil flow diagram on the cj5, unless one of you guys can tell me online. So at the bottom of the filter, right, that's where this line's coming out, it went over to the timing cover right there. This is not a factory fitting. This has been welded in after the fact, I believe. Like looking at the inside of it, it totally looks like an aftermarket fitting there. But where else would that hose have gone? Yeah, let me know in the comments if you can find a diagram and where that is normally going. Maybe it is right there. But anyways, that hose goes there. This one goes around to the other side and into the block. I gotta see where this gets routed though. You know what? I bet it was behind all of this to keep it out of the way of the belt. Yeah, that sounds awfully familiar. So let's just feed it around that way. And then it goes over to the block right there. But then I referred back to my picture and it actually has it coming over the top of the water pump. So I want to keep everything kind of as original, or back to how it was as best I can. Not that it really matters as long as things are out of the way, but if that's how it was previously, let's do it again. And while I still have plenty of play in the line, I'll go ahead and tighten this guy down. And we'll get a little Teflon tape on the one going to the timing cover here. And it seems like half the time I get this threaded the wrong way, but I don't realize that, or the Teflon tape. So if I'm going like that, yeah, that'll work. You know how you thread it on like one way so it doesn't bunch up. But yeah, super happy with how this has come along so far. Had taken a break for a while, but excited to be back at it, and my goal to get it running here shortly. I don't know how many more videos until we start it up, but yeah, this spring for sure. Because after this, yeah, I'm gonna clean up the radiator, get that ready, get the belt on, hopefully, or new belt on. Hopefully those parts are here. Oh, I gotta rebuild the carburetor and fuel pump still, and those are separate videos. We gotta do those as well. So we got a lot of work to do, but yeah, hopefully by this spring we're in good shape. I don't like how close that is to that. Oh, maybe if I just lift it up a little bit. Because I could try to come behind the alternator, but no, it'll be fine if this is just lifted up a little bit. We're okay. And just snug on that, don't over tighten it. And these strap bolts on the filter housing here, yeah, I can just get them with a flat head. And then I'll tighten down the strap mounting bolts next. So yeah, I guess we'll see what the next stage is. I'm thinking carburetor rebuild will be next up on the list, because got to get that done. If you guys remember when this first started and ran, it just wasn't running well at all, and it had a fuel delivery issue. Was it the fuel pump or the carburetor? I'm not sure. I'm sure the carburetor needed to be rebuilt. For all I know, it could just been the fuel filter, so we got a lot of stuff to do there. I'm just gonna get a new filter, rebuild all those things. But yeah, next video, maybe the carburetor rebuild. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, great progress today, so happy with that. Just gonna finish tightening down these strap bolts, and then I'm gonna go have some lunch. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you guys following along. It's kind of a fun adventure. I like reading all the comments. Feel like you guys are working along with this with me, so that's kind of neat. Let me know what you think. What you think of how this is going, what I'm messing up or could have done better, because there's always something. All right, you guys have a good day.